Hey there, it's Alex, and welcome to Hardly Working. I'm up here this weekend at the Goat House. Things have been moving pretty quickly, and let me catch you up on it.
Hey there, it's Alex. Wrench in one hand, coffee in the other. Trading CNC and deadlines for mischief, mayhem, and bother. From the shop to the cornfields, from the drill press to the stars. Retirement's calling, aliens are crawling, time to vanish those green Mars bars. Hardly working, hardly sleeping, but I'm still on the hunt. Aliens, odd jobs, and dad jokes, yes, I'll confront. Retirement's weird, but hey, no boss, just cosmic toys. Tune in now for some rusty tools, UFOs, employ of the boys. Yeah, I'm supposed to relax, but I found a ray gun in the garage. Welcome to...
Yeah, so once again, I'm back up here at the Goat House. I had to haul some stuff up here. I always loved being up here, but this was kind of a necessity. Anyways, about a month ago, I made a video about plummeting sales and how my machine shop in 2025, we lost so much work that our sales were so low, particularly with this one company that is the majority of our work, that we operated at a loss. And I tried to negotiate more work from this company, but basically they didn't have it. And for next year, we would be getting even less work from them. Everybody tried the best they could. The work is just not there. And so it was my decision then to now close the shop before the end of the year. I always knew this day would come. If it was 10 years ago or 20 years ago, I'd probably stick around and fight, and after a couple of years, would bring it back around and be profitable again. But I don't have that time, as you know. I have a 4-year retirement horizon, so the decision was made by me to stop operations and to liquidate the shop. You really can't sell a business like a machine shop. Normally, you can't sell the book with it. Have new owners come in, my customers would have just left. They would have pulled all the work. So really, all you can do is liquidate the assets of the company. And I have 7 CNC machines, 5 of which are late model, in good shape, and hold a lot of value, most of the value of the assets. I have 2 older CNC machines from the 1990s. Those will be able to sell, but they won't fetch nearly as much money. And I have a bunch of support equipment, like forklift and some nice compressors and tools and things like that. So there's 2 ways to go. I could either try to sell these individually, go on eBay, and try to get retail buyers for everything. And that would mean that I would have to accept 10 or so different checks. And as soon as one of those checks, they put a stop payment on it, it would now go into court. And it would probably take me, I estimate, about 6 months to sell everything. And that would bring a certain amount of money. What I decided to do was to call some reputable machine brokers, people that I know that have deep checkbooks and who move these machines quickly. Right now, I called about 6 of them, but 2 of them are the ones that seem to be the most promising. And I'll probably get about 2/3 to 3/4 of the money than if I would have tried to sell these things at the used retail market. I'm trying to get median wholesale numbers for this equipment. And the equipment is high quality, lower hours, good stuff, machines that move. So that's what we're doing. I'm closing the shop. I'm going to take any of the proceeds. We have a couple loans we have to pay off, but there's cash on hand. And from the proceeds of these sales, we will pay off whatever small loans we have, and whatever's left over is just going to go and get invested and go towards my retirement fund. But the other thing is now I have to go find work because I'm not ready to retire right now. I'm going to be 62 this year, and frankly, it's not going to do it. I still have a lot of work in me, and I probably would even at 65. But that is when I'd like to retire. I don't want to retire when I can no longer work, and I'll probably still work part time. But now is the time to start looking for work. I polished up my resume. It's going to go out to some recruiters. I'm talking to some people in the business that I know. And hopefully, I have 43 years of experience and somebody will hire me, of course, I won't make as much money as I made on the best years that machine shop was running, but I'll actually probably make more than on the worst years that machine shop was running. So it's fine. It's fine. I think that I have a lot to offer somebody. That's what I intend to do. And I'll be completely open about it, that I intend to retire at 65. I have 4 years that I will give them everything that I know and move back on to proverbially punching the clock. But anyways, that's the decision that was made. And I don't feel bad about it. And you shouldn't feel bad for me about it. I operated this business for 26 years. With the exception of 2 years during COVID, we ran a profit every single year. There were some thin years, but we ran at a profit. It was a successful business. And as a machine shop owner, I knew that there would be a time where the market and all the indicators and the tea leaves would let me know that this is the time to close shop. And this was it. With my retirement horizon, I don't have enough time to pull this company back out. We don't owe a lot of money. I'll walk away with a good chunk of money towards my retirement, and I'll just go work for somebody else. So I don't have to worry about paying for my own health insurance. And to make my money, I won't have to do it by buying machines, paying payroll, paying workman's comp, paying the myriad of licenses you need to pay, and all the other things that go into it. I mean, of the revenue that a company like this brings in, the profit is really only, I would say, 20%. So you have to spend all this money to just make that money. And I would rather have somebody else take on that burden, and I'll just work for them and give them everything that I have, all my knowledge and all my skills and all my intuition and everything that I know about the machine shop business. So this is going to come in parts. This is the first one, the decision to do this. And the first things to do was to call everybody I knew that was in the machine broker business. I called people that I even knew weren't that reputable. You want to get everybody in the conversation, but it's down to, I've talked to about a half a dozen of them, and they're two guys, which obviously are the most serious. And Glenn, my sales guy at Hawes, the guy I bought all the machines from, recommended these two guys. And these two guys seem to be stepping up and the least goofy. Let me tell you something about these machine dealers. They love it when somebody goes out of business and they're desperate and they owe money and the bank's up their butt and they need to liquidate. And so these guys come down and they're vultures and they will pick the bones, and they're used to doing this. So when you're coming in and you have time and you're not in a compressed situation, you're not in a financially distressed situation, you are there to negotiate the best prices you can, and they know that they're not going to make as much money on you as the people who are desperate. But the people that I'm talking to understand who they're dealing with. And so I'll let you know how that goes. This is going to be like a series, 3-part series. The first one is the decision to close and to begin to make the moves to sell off the assets. I was supposed to sign a new lease for the place, and I told the owner of the shop where we lease, that I wasn't going to be renewing the leases, that that I was going to be closing the business and that I hoped that he would work with me on a month-to-month basis. I told him whatever the new lease payment is for the shop, I'll gladly pay. That's not a problem, but I can't sign the lease. I've decided to close the business. And he wasn't happy about it. I've been there for 16 years, I think, and he kept telling me I was one of his best tenants. But this is life, and I think he understands that. So here it is. It's the shutting down the shop, the liquidating of assets, the cleaning up of the shop, of getting people and getting the place back to, broom sweep clean. That's the way I have to return the property. I have to disassemble all the conduit and everything and just get it back to the bare walls of the place. If I do make a deal and I sell these machines, this will probably be all taken in one shot by one broker. I'm selling the machines, and basically all the tooling that goes along with it is just a sweetener so that I can get the prices that I want for the machines. I don't want to sit there and sell tool holders and vices and all this other stuff. I just laid it all out. I go, this is the tooling that I have for the machines. I'm looking for this much for the machines, and you get the tooling with it. And hopefully I'll get somewhere between 2/3 and 3/4 of what I would get if I went out and just sold this stuff by myself. But once again, I want to reiterate, I'm excited about this. I'm excited about taking my experience and helping somebody else out. I'm excited about we got to close the business and not a distressed position. We're going to get what the machines are worth on the wholesale market, and we'll move on. I will film as they come in and rig all the equipment and move it out of the shop, and I look forward to showing you all that stuff. You get to see how a machine shop, small as it might be, gets liquidated. Anyways, just wanted to update you about that, about the news of closing of the shop. Here I am this week. The reason why I'm up at the Goat House again is there was a lot of tools that are just things like wrenches and sockets and things that aren't necessarily machine shop centric that you would have in a shop. And I had to haul all that stuff up here. I mean, literally 1,000 pounds of tools and wrenches and screwdrivers and also all the tax documents that I had over there, boxes and boxes and boxes of previous tax documents and receipts. So I'm up here this weekend, having a good time. All that work is done. And I think that within the next week or so, I'm going to get numbers from them, and hopefully we'll be able to make a deal and move on, liquidate this stuff, move out of the shop, and start looking for another job. I'm not going to talk about what I'm looking for, but I mean, I could do everything from program management, CNC programming, tool design, more of the advanced managerial stuff that's involved in running a CNC machine shop, particularly in the aerospace field, which is where I have all my experience in. Anyways, I'm looking forward to talking to you guys soon, and hope you guys have a great day, week, month, year, and I'll talk to you soon.